dipersembahkan oleh BRI Syariah.
War, poverty, corruption, social injustice, and other various social problems faced by human beings these days have made us question ourselves. What is wrong with current social life system? Strong domination upon the weak, human greediness, loss of empathy are caused by the absence of spiritual values application in nowadays life of the people. The word spirituality is derived from spirit, which means soul, some immaterial thing or non-material thing. The loss of values of spirituality in most recent life of society has resulted in various social problems in life of the society. Using measurement of everything based on ratio, thought or material things has driven us far from basic values of human self, which should be based on morality.
I myself, as an individual who has been longing for creating a very good program, a Sharia finance program on TV, I find that many Sharia programs on TV are not yet enough to educate many people in the industry, any common people, as a customers of Sharia financial institutions. So with all of these, I would say, handicapped, I myself as an individual would like to contribute in creating a very good program. And of course, I cannot do it alone. I need some partners. I need some good creative production house. I need some good TV provider, of course. And we all should have one thing in common: to give a very good effort in creating Sharia TV program. Not just specifically in Sharia, but also in enhancing our spirituality.
Caranya inspiratif, saya kira, karena tokoh-tokoh yang dimunculkan itu merupakan tokoh-tokoh yang saya kira merupakan ikon, ya, ikon syariah, dan figur-figurnya saya kira dapat dengan jelas memunculkan perkembangan dunia syariah di Indonesia sekarang ini.
Menurut saya penting karena itu menjadi kalau menurut saya menjadi suatu narasumber. Jadi buat masukan sih buat kita yang dalam kehidupan ini yang selalu pengen berkembang lebih jauh lagi dengan menyatukan apa yang dalam pikiran kita dengan apa yang dalam diri kita. Dan itu menjadi salah satu narasumber dari manapun sumbernya, tapi itu merupakan salah satu sumber yang bagus banget kalau buat saya. Wah, penting banget, Mas. Tentang spiritualitas itu penting buat kehidupan sehari-hari, ya. Karena tanpa spiritualitas di dalam diri kita seperti nggak ada arah dalam melakukan kehidupan ini. Kalau menurut saya, karena penting itu kenapa? Karena dalam suatu, kalau misalnya tidak ada nilai spiritualitas, artinya tuh kita tidak mempunyai arah, nggak punya arah dan tujuan. Kita melakukan hanya berdasarkan apa yang dalam kepala kita, tapi kita tidak menyatukan dengan apa yang ada dalam diri kita. Jadi malah itu lebih berbahaya kalau menurut saya.
Oh, sangat penting, karena di samping yang sifatnya secara materi, hidup kita banyak dimotivasi dengan hal-hal yang spiritual ketimbang yang materi.
For me, spirituality is everything in life. Actually, spirituality is everything in the afterlife, of course. If you talk about afterlife, it's all about spirituality, because this physical world is not exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore in the afterlife. So spirituality is the main thing here. And when we are talking about Sharia industry, Sharia finance, Sharia banking, I think the most important thing is about spirituality of the practitioners. Products are important too, but how you deliver the product, how you create the product, it's all connected to the spirituality of oneself, or I would say jama'ah, collective spirituality of the practitioners.
Karena kita bisa belajar dari nilai-nilai spiritual yang tokoh-tokoh itu punya, untuk kita bisa ambil pelajaran dari situ.
In life, we need good examples of good spiritual people. Because being good itself is not sometimes enough, but you need good examples. People tend to look up at good examples, good people with spiritualities, of course. That is why in this program we try to package the spirituality of those people into some kind of I would say friendly approach to spirituality, so people can really learn from these good people, these good spiritual people, and they can learn in their own language, in their own gesture, in their own everyday life.
Saya kira bukan tidak mungkin kemudian Indonesia ini bisa menjadi tempat berkembangnya ekonomi syariah secara besar dan baik ya.
Dipersembahkan oleh BRI Syariah. Dipersembahkan oleh BRI Syariah.
Sharia economic system has proven its strength to be resilient from heat of economic crisis. It is based on principal values of Sharia economics, which is not based on mere speculation and riba. Sharia economic system based on Islamic values, teach about ethics and morality in doing economic activity, is more preferred for developing nations. With revenue sharing system which does not give burden to people, Sharia economic principle is valued to be more suitable for Indonesia, which is based upon people's economy.
Saya tahunya itu yang sekedar kayak bagi hasil, darobah, jadinya mengurangi riba gitu.
Bank syariah nggak pakai bunga gitu, jadi menghindari riba.
Sistem keuangan syariah itu yang tidak mengenal yang namanya bunga, karena bunga itu adalah riba. Karena dalam sistem keuangan syariah itu, kalau misalnya kita mau melakukan suatu pembiayaan, ya itu kan kita yang paling gampangnya adalah kita jual beli. Artinya ada kesepakatan antara dua belah pihak, ada yang penjual, ada pembeli, kemudian ada barang yang dijual kan. Kalau misalnya kita sudah sepakat di awal, ya insya Allah sih setelah itu akan menjadi bagus.
Sistem keuangan syariah sebenarnya secara keseluruhan syariah adalah ekonomi syariah dalam hal ini boleh dibilang merupakan satu alternatif ya satu alternatif ataupun boleh dibilang metode, ya kan, dalam bidang ekonomi, dalam juga mencapai kesejahteraan umat dari sisi yang sebelumnya konvensional ke arah yang lebih bersifat syariah, dalam hal ini Islam, ya.
If someone asks me about what is Sharia financial system, actually, it is simply a correction. It is simply a purification of the whole economic system existing today. But we know that the existing today's economic systems are merely based on interest, on compounded interest, not based on I would say revenue sharing or margin or renting fee. It is simply based on interest system, and interest systems tend to I would say manipulate people. If they want to buy a house, they cannot really know how much they pay for the house, because interest rate tends to go ups and downs. They don't really know how much they pay for the house. But with Sharia financial system, we would fixing it out with some kind of akad, some kind of agreement, which is not loan agreement, of course. It is simply based on what we call murabahah agreement, which is simply a buying and selling agreement with a fixed price over the number of years. So in this case, I would say that Sharia financial system is actually a correction for the existing conventional economic system to be more justful in applying the economics ways, I guess.
Oh, sangat ya, sangat. Dilihat dari segi penduduk saja ya, kalau dilihat dari segi penduduk dibanding dengan negara-negara lain yang penduduknya relatif lebih kecil dari Indonesia, di sana berkembang pesat, potensi di sini sangat besar sekali. Cuma kemudian peranatanya, institusinya, kesiapan lembaga-lembaganya memang harus ditata dulu. Setelah itu tertata, saya kira bukan tidak mungkin kemudian Indonesia ini bisa menjadi tempat berkembangnya ekonomi syariah secara besar dan baik, ya.
If you talk about market share of the whole Sharia financial economic system, I would say we are simply in say 5%, going to 6% of it. But it is just numbers. If you talk about how many people are involved in the Sharia financial systems in Indonesia, actually, I can say that we have been involving more than 40 million people of Indonesia, which is only like 20% of the whole Indonesian population, right? But this is big because Indonesia is a big country. 40 million people compared to, say, Morocco, is the whole people in Morocco, the whole Moroccan people there. Compared to Malaysia, it's more than Malaysian people. Compared to Singapore, it's more, of course, it's I don't know, maybe around 5 or even 10 times of the population in Singapore. So Indonesian Sharia financial system, I would say that it shouldn't be like any Sharia hub like England, like Malaysia, like Singapore, they tend to be, they call it Sharia hub. I would say Sharia brokers, I would say. But Indonesia itself, Indonesia has a very large number of Muslims, and even with the 20% of the total large number of Muslims, we're already big. The Sharia financial system, okay, in terms of numbers, is just 5% of the market share, but it has been reaching to like more than 40 million people. It is bigger than Morocco, it is bigger than Singapore, it is bigger than Malaysia. The of Indonesian economic system, even before we gain our independence, I think there were so many things similar with Sharia.
Dipersembahkan oleh BRI Syariah. Dipersembahkan oleh BRI Syariah.
Indonesia, as country with the largest Muslim population in the world, is ready to become the new economic power of the world, with Sharia economic system as its foundation. Sharia economic growth in the country cannot be undermined, with the growth value of 40% each year, exceeding much higher than conventional economic growth, which only achieve the average of 17% each year. This development also influences positively big for real sector national development, increasing micro businesses, increasing of people's income, widening of working fields, in the end, strengthening the national fundamental economics.
Masih kurang, ini banyak hal yang masih harus dilakukan, karena satu, mesti didukung dari regulasi dari pemerintahnya sendiri gitu kan. Dua adalah kesadaran dari masyarakat. Ketiga adalah orang yang mau turut serta atau memberikan kontribusi terhadap sistem syariah tersebut. Jadi menurut saya itu masih terus harus dilakukan.
As in Indonesia, actually the basic root of Indonesian economic system, even before we gain our independence, I think there were so many things similar with Sharia, because they know, like I would call it paroan, which is simply revenue sharing, which is simply mudharabah in Sharia. They call it at that time they would call it something like they pay upfront for the crops. It has something to do with in Sharia economics we call it salam. We call it salam, or upfront payment sale. I would say that. They are so familiar with the credit sales. They would sell and credit like households goods. In West Java, they all do it, and in Sharia we call it murabaha system. So actually, long before our independence, our Indonesian independence, people of Indonesia have already practice the Sharia financial economic system. But at that time, they don't call it Sharia. They just call it simply people's economic system. And then we followed the West, implementing the conventional economic system. And we have been witnessing many downturns, many financial economic crises during our independence time, even till now. So then people look again into the Sharia financial economic system, and this time they should look at not just an alternative, but it has to be the solution of all the problems. I think spiritual executive one is actually one of the most effective way to communicate, to educate people about the Sharia financial economic system. Of course, there are number of ways to do, to communicate, to educate people, but I think this particular program is actually trying to reach various people. We can talk just about spirituality, or we can just talk about, say, a green economy. In one of our programs, we were covering green economy even in Norwegian region at that time with His Excellency from Norwegian Embassy. We would like to express that to people that actually talking about Sharia is not just in a very narrow way, but we can bring it to a very wide way, a broad way. But we can also educate people about the products of, say, particular Sharia bank. There are numbers of advantages of Sharia banks products over the conventional ones. And yes, I believe that we have covered that in some, I think several, not just one, several episodes at that time, trying to educate people that many things, many products in Sharia banking industry are more sophisticated, but it should be more easy to understand. And I know a lot of people are avoiding, Sharia is a very, sometimes a bit confusing because of the names and everything, but actually this is good for you. This is good for the people. This is simply just another way to express it. And this particular program, Spiritual Executive One, is actually a program that tries to make it softer, so many people, many various people can really understand this, because we are talking about Sharia, we are talking about spirituality in their own way, in their own gesture. So they would love to dig more about Sharia, they would love to dig more about spirituality after they see the program.